are allowed to choose their own career. And the second one is smartphones do more harm than good. So without much of time, we have a lot of programs to be taking place. Let me hand over the mic to the MC for the continuations of our programs. MC.
Alhamdulillah, that marks the end of the debate competition, so the participants can go back to your seats. And the next activity is going to be paper presentation, and this is going to be delivered by the senior class, that's SS2 students. So hand over the mic to the person in charge of that. Yes, we are going to be the only one that will.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay, as Malam said, we are moving to the senior category, which we are going to start with the paper presentation. I'm going to call the participants now. Then Al-Hassan Wasi, Jamil Ibrahim, Jamil Ibrahim from SS1A, Al-Hassan Wasi from SS2A. Okay? The criteria of the assessment is that we have 4 areas which we are going to use to assess the presenters. One of it is the body language. We are going to observe their body language, which is over 5. Then the exposure, also over 5. That's how confident they are in presenting the paper. Then the body language, the movement of their body should rhyme with what they are saying. Then the articulation, that's how they present their paper, their fluency in presentation. Then the facial expression, the way they are looking at the audience, trying to carry them along. Inshallah, the first presenter will present on breathe inside in what? So inshallah, which is Jamil Ibrahim.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Ibrahim Jamil Haruna from SS1. I'm here to present a paper titled Brief Insight on Entrepreneurship Skills. This paper is prepared to give a brief insight on entrepreneurship skills to the students of Albanian Science International Academy, Zaria. The paper recognizes the reason for business entrepreneurship and skills, functions, prospects, and challenges limiting against entrepreneurship, with special interest in Nigeria. With limited opportunities for formal employment, educational institutions are being encouraged to provide relevant soft education designed to promote self-reliance and entrepreneurial capacity for self-employment. Education systems are meeting these challenges through several ways, such as Entrepreneurial Skills Development Program (ESDP), which concern with any comprehensively planned effort undertaken by an individual, group, or institution. Agencies to develop competence in people that are intended to lead the self-employment through short-term training. Trainees are prepared to be job creators, not job seekers. Hence, the program is aimed at the providing of trainees for self-employment. Small business have been described as the most promising vehicles for entrepreneurs dynamizing Africa in general. The history of indigenous business in Nigeria is the history of small-scale enterprise. Small independent business are everywhere in every line of work. We see them in every community. The local corner drugstore, service station, barber shop, road mechanic workshop, and many more are regarded as small-scale enterprise. The concept of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is defined as the action-oriented and highly motivated individual who has the ability to see and evaluate business opportunities to gather necessary resources, to take advantage of them, to initiate appropriate action to ensure success, and to take risks to achieve. Tish at Ed, 1995. This is also seen as the process of identifying investment opportunities in one environment and bringing resources together for the formation of an enterprise. From the foregoing definition, it is pertinent to understand that the most important function of entrepreneur is innovation, and the role to achieve this such function is called entrepreneurial function. Also, the process is called entrepreneurship. Another definition which is in line with this association was the one given by Soji Olokoyo in his book Managing Your Small-Scale Enterprising Successfully. He defined entrepreneurship as the willingness and ability of an individual or group of persons to search for investment opportunities, establish and run a business unit successfully. Entrepreneurship as a concept has to do with how several activities are carried out in an organization for effective operation, among which include the following. 1. Identifying business opportunities. 2. Making choice for business opportunities. 3. Formulating organizational objectives. 4. Conducting marketing research and survey. 5. Putting together scarce resources, that is, human, financial, and material resources. 6. Establishing the enterprise. 7. Starting the actual business operation. And 8. Distributing and promoting organizational good services. 9. Managing, organizing, and controlling human and material resources for attainment of the predetermined set of goals and objectives. 10. Bearing risks and uncertainty. And number 11, we have innovation and diversification. The reasons for entrepreneurship are as follows. Many factors are responsible for entrepreneurship. Some of them are as follows. Number 1, the pull factor. Pleasant events attract an individual or group of individuals to become business entrepreneurs. These factors include presence of partners, mentors, consumers, investors, sportive, and desire for autonomy. The 2, pull factor. The 2, push factor. A pleasant, at times, unpleasant life experience and events can push someone into becoming his own boss. This consists of job justification, pay justification, middle age crisis, relocation, transfer, divorce, and others. Number 3, we have supportive factor. These are factors which influence one to become business entrepreneur. Yes, they are as follows: culture, social conditions, peer group, working experience, belief system, and to mention just a few. The entrepreneurial skills. The entrepreneurial skills can note the personal and interpersonal competence of people, which are expressed in their behavior as entrepreneurs. Of course, most people let conditions control their attitude, but the entrepreneurs use their attitude to control conditions. A positive attitude needs to focus on desired activities and events, on the results you hope to achieve. Even negative experience will contain something positive. You must have a positive mental attitude toward all events and look for benefits from every experience. Therefore, the skills of entrepreneur have been categorized by independent researchers, trying to identify skills that are common. Such skills have been argued to be teachable, learnable, and transferable. But some of the skills are as follows. A. Building vision. B. faith and commitment, which entail creating vision, believing your work is calling and having confidence in yourself. B. Planning and thorough implementation of plans, which call for developing a feasible business plan with written goals, commitment in implementation, and ensuring a culture of transparency and accountability. C. Willingly taking reasonable risks, which requires seeing financial decisions as a risk, learning from our mistakes and failure, using them as opportunities to succeed. D. Clearly defining targets, grouped by finding one thing which one cherishes and striving to be best at it. E. Partnering in practical terms. This has to do with the cultural quality relationship, asking for help to become a resource. The functions of entrepreneurs. In order for entrepreneurs to achieve their aims and objectives, they perform the following functions, such as 1. Planning. This is the activity of the manager, which tries to define a purpose that is objective. The main strategies to achieve the purpose. This involves developing of plans, that is the blueprint aimed at integrating and coordinating activities. Number 2. Organizing. This is the task which involves determining what jobs must be done, who must do them, how they must be done, and how the jobs are to be related to one another in terms of authority and responsibility. 3. Commanding. According to Fayol, commanding is maintaining activities among the personnel. This is a function which requires the manager to issue out orders, instructions, policies, procedures, and so on. 4. Coordinating. Coordinating is the responsibility involved in bringing harmony among various resources and activities in the organization. The roles for entrepreneurship. Business entrepreneurs perform certain duties in order to manage their enterprise. These roles, according to Mintabak, are 10 in number and have been grouped into 3 related categories, which are as follows. Number 1, the interpersonal roles. 2, informational roles. And 3, the decisional roles. The interpersonal roles are the series of behaviors which the manager puts in dealings with his subordinates and other people, such as customers and creditors. The interpersonal role consists of the following. A. Figurehead. This is a role involving the manager to perform some routine and ceremonial duties. B. Leader. This is the role of the manager in which he tries to give instruction or directives to his subordinates in an attempt to guide them in the performance of their job. C. The liaison role. This involves when the manager establishes contact with outside interests. For example, he has to liaise with government and its agencies for necessary information. The informational role. Under the informational role, we have the monitor. Because of the fast-changing nature of elements of the environment, the entrepreneur needs to continuously seek relevant information about the elements of environment. B. Disseminator. The various information received from sources outside should be informed to the insiders of the organization. C. The spokesperson. The manager is by qualification the person to always speak on behalf of the organization and objectives, policies, etc. D. Decisional role. These are rules involved in the process of making one decision or the other. Under the category are the following. Roman figure 1, entrepreneurial role. This is the role in which the manager initiates ideas, develops the ideas, and tell them to be unseeable. Roman figure 2, disturbance handler role. This is the role of the manager in which he tries to attempt and solve various crises arising in the organization. It is because by nature of man, conflict, crisis, strikes, and etc. are inherent in our dealings with one another. The challenges facing entrepreneurs in Nigeria. Despite the importance of entrepreneurship in the development of national economy and the various efforts of government to accord entrepreneurship a priority of place in its programs and policies, more still needs to be achieved in the development of entrepreneurship in Nigeria. The reason that a lot of challenges are encountered to drive entrepreneurship a boost such include lack of trust by Nigerians. Many Nigerians have the attitude to mistrust toward local entrepreneurs. This is because many Nigerians do not believe and trust the ability and capability of entrepreneurs. Number 2, lack of education by many entrepreneurs. This is a problem facing ingenious entrepreneurship in Nigeria. Many of our local entrepreneurs are illiterate or with little education. Number 3, inadequacy and infrastructural facilities. Summary and conclusion. I would like to emphasize that to succeed in any ventures, be it business or social ventures, certain skills are needed. These skills discussed in this paper are grouped under creativity, orientation, commitment, and others. These skills have been found to be dominant in better performing of entrepreneurs. This argument as to whether entrepreneurship are born or made. The paper hinges on the premises that entrepreneurships are born and are equally made. In conclusion, a business entrepreneurship must be ready to distinguish its business from existing ones by providing products that have attributes meeting in its environment. Thank you for listening, and I thank our honorable and able civic teacher, Malam Murtala Abakar, for helping me compile this paper. Thank you.
Then the next speaker is going to present paper on advocation of Islamic banking in Nigeria, which is a person of Al-Hassan Wazi. You're welcome.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am by name Al-Hassan Adam Wazi, a student of SS2E. I am here to present a paper titled Advocation of Islamic Banking in Nigeria. This paper is prepared to discuss on advocation of Islamic banking in Nigeria by considering the two major beliefs in the country as well as the legal framework that is guiding the operation of the bank in Nigerian banking industry. The paper also covered some of the challenges and prospects of Islamic banking in Nigeria. The historical background of Islamic banking. Research shows that the basis of the banking system have been in existence during the Prophet and his companions. These include Zubayr's saving service. Zubayr ibn al-Awwam was famous for his honesty and trustworthiness. A lot of people used to deposit their money with him. He used to tell them that he accepts it as loan, salaf, not as deposit, which is wadi'ah, because of his fear of changing nominations of the currency, which is contrary to the Sharia rule of deposit. Therefore, many people came for his service to the extent that he raised total cash deposit of 2,200,000, which is 2.2 million dirham. Al-Zahabi, Siyaru A'lam al-Nubala, volume 1, page 66. On the contrary, the modern experiment of Islamic banking was undertaken in Egypt in 1963. The Nigerian Muslim community have taken steps to introduce the bank which will comply with the Sharia injunctions in 1983. It does not succeed until October 1999. Habib Nigerian Bank Limited, currently known as the Keystone Bank, was the first to introduce the non-interest banking operation by opening the Islamic window in 6 branches, which also did not succeed. The first full-fledged Islamic bank operating in Nigeria currently which obtained the license from Apex Bank since 2004 and commenced their operations on 2011, is Jaiz International Bank PLC, Salahuddin Ahmad Islamic Bank, Finance and Insurance. Now, the concept of interest. Usury came from the medieval Latin usura, means interest or excessive interest. From the Latin usura, interest originally meant usury, is largely derived from the Abraham, that is the religious principle. Riba is the corresponding Islamic term. Interest was denounced by various religious leaders and philosophers in the ancient world. Interest can be defined as an excess charge over the capital lent. It is fixed amount of returns for the use of money. The lender are always after the interest accrued. Hence, the lenders are always profiteering without any effort or being exposed to any risk. In another way, interest may be described as the payment made by the borrower to lender from the money borrowed and is normally expressed as the percentage per annum. Ricket 1999. Besides, from the Islamic point of view, interest is a prefixed rate of use of money. This prefixed rate is known as interest, which is undesirable Islamically. Quran and interest. Muslim Ummah needs Islamic banking in Nigeria because our creator and sustainer prohibited interest on loans, which is riba, and the banks introduced to us by our colonial masters are interest-oriented banks. These conventional banks advance loans in which the recipient must refund with an increment. That increment is, however, a riba. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibits riba in 4 different places in the glorious Quran as follows: الذين يأكلون الربا لا يقومون إلا كما يقوم الذي يتخبطه الشيطان من المس ذلك بأنهم قالوا إنما البيع مثل الربا وأحل الله البيع وحرم الربا. Those who eat riba will not stand on the day of resurrection except like the stand of people or a person beaten by shaitan, leading to insanity. That is because they say trading is only like riba, whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has permitted the trading and has prohibited riba. Surah Al-Baqarah verse 275. He also said in Surah Al-Ali Imran verse 130 to verse 131, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu la ta'kulu riba ab'afa mudha'afa wattaqu Allah la'allakum tuflihun wattaqu an-nara allati wa'iddat lil kafirin. O you who believe, eat not riba doubled and multiplied, but fear Allah that you may be successful, and fear the fire which is prepared for the disbelievers. He also said in Surah An-Nisa verse 161, وَأَخْذِهِمُ الرِّبَا وَقَدْ نُهُوا عَنْهُ وَأَكْلِهِمْ أَمْوَالَ النَّاسِ بِالْبَاطِلِ وَأَعْتَدْنَا لِلْكَافِرِينَ مِنْهُمْ عَذَابًا أَلِيمًا. And for practicing riba, which was forbidden, and for consuming the people's money illicitly, we have prepared for the disbelievers among the painful torment. He also said in the glorious Quran, وَمَا آتَيْتُم مِّن رِّبًا لِيَرْبُوَ فِي أَمْوَالِ النَّاسِ فَلَا يَرْبُو عِندَ اللَّهِ وَمَا آتَيْتُم مِّن زَكَاةٍ تُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَ اللَّهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُضْعِفُونَ. The usury riba that is practiced to increase someone's wealth does not gain anything from Allah. But if people give charity, seeking God's pleasure, these are the ones who receive their reward in manifold. Surah Rum verse 39. Therefore, this prohibition is not only to those who advance loans, but also to those who borrow and refund with interest, and those who collaborate with the system. This explanation came in the prophetic hadith narrated by Jabir radiallahu anhu. The apostle of Allah calls him who takes and him who pays interest, and the one who transcribes and those who witness the transaction. And he, the prophet, said, they are the same in things. Sahih Muslim, volume 3, hadith number 1219. Also, the Prophet described the graveness of the sin in another hadith, as narrated by Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, reporting from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The ill effects of interest are the 73 kinds of the least intense. This is like someone committing adultery with his mother. Now, the Bible and interest. The Christianity also shares the principle of ethical financing for not supporting interest. From the New Testament warning against usury in Luke chapter 6 verse 35, lending hope nothing in return. The following are the verses from the Old Testament in the American King James Version. In Exodus chapter 22 verse 25, if money lent to any of my people that is poor by you, you shall not be to him as an usurer, neither shall you lay on him usury. In Leviticus chapter 25 verse 36, take you no usury of him or increase, but fear your God, that your brother may live with you. In Leviticus also chapter 25 verse 37 said, you shall not give him your money on usury, nor lend him your victual for increase. In Deuteronomy chapter 23 verse 19, you shall not lead on usury to your brother, usury of money, usury of victim, usury of anything that is lent on usury, to mention but few. The fact is that interest is an act of exploitation on the effort of the borrowers, and it recompensed without spending any effort. But interest riba is not subjected to any law. The practice of Islamic banking in Nigeria. The practice of Islamic banking in Nigeria could be reviewed in two perspectives, namely the formal and the informal. The formal practices are those backed by the law of the country, while the informal are the mode of financing which are not prohibited but not covered under the formal law. In Ismaila 2010, the regulatory and the supervisory function are indispensable and vital components of the financial system. Islamic banks must have a strong regulatory framework which will ensure the bank is in compliance with all the legislative laws related with banking and finance, and must not commit any fraud or illegal acts. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, released guidelines for the regulation and the supervision of institutions offering non-interest financial service. The CBN Bullion 2010. Also, banks and other financial institutions in Decree BOFID number 25 1999 recommended banking activities based on the profit and loss sharing, which is the PLS. In the view of the Habib Nigerian Bank Limited, currently known as the Keystone Bank PLC, which was licensed in 1992 to offer the non-interest banking service as a window basis, but the actual operation commenced in 1999. Some of its pioneering products include the non-interest current account, the savings account, a general purpose investment account, among others. The first full-fledged Islamic bank in Nigeria is Jaiz International Bank PLC in 2004. The bank was granted the approval in principle of pending meeting of the capital base of 25 billion naira during the banking consolidation exercise as against 2 billion naira minimum capital base. On the other hand, the first Islamic microfinance bank is Al Baraka, which commenced operation on April 2010 at Lagos. Besides, there are some non-financial institutions or non-financial intermediaries in Nigeria, such as the Hudallah Microcredit Company, which their activities are close to Mudaraba. In similar vein, the Lotus Capital Limited and the Halal Fund established in 2004. Though Islamic banking in Nigeria is at the embryo stage, however, the availability of the product is an indication of the huge potential market for the Islamic banking in Nigeria. Challenges and prospects of Islamic banking in Nigeria. Some of the challenges facing Islamic banking in Nigeria are as follows. 1. The relationship with conventional banks. This is because such banks' operations are based on interest. Besides, the Islamic bank cannot operate in vacuum. Secondly, the relationship with Apex Bank. CBN regulates and supervises banks' operations in Nigeria and serves as a lender of last resort, which also is an interest-oriented bank. The prospects of Islamic banking in Nigeria are as follows. Existence of regulatory and supervisory framework. This is a strong move towards the operation of Islamic banks in Nigeria. Research and development on Islamic banking. Many scholars dedicated themselves on how to advance Islamic banking in Nigeria. Recommendations. Islamic banks need not only to continue on its awareness campaign, but to increase such with symposiums, conferences, and also adopt measures that will attract attention of prospective customers. Adverts and jingles in local languages to help in communicating the messages to different ethnic groups. The bank should adopt more thorough appraisal of loans applications as well as the value of fallback option before issuing out the loan to the prospective borrowers. It is recommended that any bank that wants to adopt the system should give vigorous training to all its staff on the scheme before its commencement. The system should duly compensate the effort of the staff, which will be able to get the best out of them. Conclusively, I would like to emphasize that a lot of awareness campaigns need to be carried out to educate Nigerians on the valuability of Islamic banking and investment opportunities in Nigeria, which will result to the economic discipline. Despite the fact that Islamic banking activities are at the embryo stage, Nigerians, especially the Muslim Ummah, need to devise means of improving the system. Compliments, salutation, and special thanks goes to my honorable economics teacher in person of Malam Musa Abdul Aziz for giving me the supportable support and helping me in compiling this paper. Thank you for listening.
Alhamdulillah, that is all for the paper presentation that we had from Jamil Ibrahim of SS1A and Al-Hassan Adam Wase, SS2B. At-Takbir. So we're going to move to the next activity, which is quiz for the senior section. So the participants should get ready.
Jafar Mahmood Adams House, which is group 4. The senior students.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Please, are you all listening? We need your mind, please. We need an absolute silence for us to conduct this quiz competition smoothly the way it should be. Excuse me. You that you are standing, sit down. Sit down. Brother, leave it like that. Just keep that carton there. What we expect from each and every one of you is an absolute silence. The refreshment should not result to noise making. Let's be matured in this very place, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome back. We are starting, as I've said, with mathering, and the rule goes like this. Each question has a maximum of 2 minutes, and there is no one student that can answer more than 2 questions from a given group. So each participant from a given group has a maximum chance of 2 to participate in solving the problems. So without much waste of our time, we will move straight to the business of the day, starting with group 1, that's Abubakar Mahmoud Gumi's house. We want participants from that group to come and pick their questions. So I'm waiting for group 1 participant. So here we have Alamin representing group 1. He's picked the question. So we will hear the question from Malam and he will go over there and solve it.
The question she has chosen is question number 19 that says the time t taken to travel a given distance varies inversely with the speed s. If t is equal to 2 when s is equal to 5, find t in terms of x. The time taken to travel a given distance varies inversely with speed s. If t is equal to 2 when s is equal to 5, find t in terms of x.
Alamin is the first student on stage in math ring trying to solve a given problem, and I'm seeing some confidence in him. A question of variation, saying the time taken to travel a given distance varies inversely with speed s. If t equals 2 when s equals 5, find t in terms of s. As I'm even talking, he's done. But I don't know whether he's correct. Let's wait for the judge and see.
The group members should be vigilant. You still have more time. If there is something you need to correct, you can come and correct. You still have time here. But if it's final, then we'll go for the marking. You still have more time. You can come and correct.
You know, sometimes when you have so much confidence, you can easily make mistakes. But I believe he's changed something. So let's see. He's gotten so many steps correct, and he's gotten 1.5 marks. That's excellent. You know, the problem he had was the overconfidence. So he used something different in trying to portray the speed. We move into the next group, which is Albany's group. Let's see a representative from that group. I can see the faces of the members. Another person is already stood up. That's Ihsan, I believe, trying to also make his group proud.
Determine the truth value of negation C, disjunction negation Q. Determine the truth value of negation C, disjunction negation Q.
He's chosen a question on logical reasoning. So let's see whether their group can logically reason. There he is with the question. The group members are there to help if the need arise. So you can always give your own contribution. But I can see he is already there working. Another group member believes he can do better, so he is out here. They don't want their group to be left behind. So let's see. Both of them are still battling with the question. but the end will always justify the means. So one is done. You are still within your time range. You're still within your time range, so we can still wait for the second one to complete before the judge takes over. Albany's house, which is the group 2 here. The board is full with so much solution, but I can see the judge carefully looking at both the solutions of the two participants. Let's see what that solution will lead to. I think we are now finally waiting for the judge because they are done with their solution. Well, one of them have 2 steps correct, one wrong, and the other one is being marked also now. It seems we are getting something, and let me not conclude anything. Let me wait for the judge. They got a total mark of 2. And that was an excellent help from the member of the group. So you see, that's why we said always, whenever you see a group member trying to fumble, you can always help out. So we are moving to the next one, which is Bawa Mishinkafa's house. Another group member is already on stage waiting for their question. So let's see what happened with the group 3 members. He's already chosen his question.
The question he has chosen is question number 12, which says 2 root 27 plus root 75 minus 5 root 12 all over root 60 minus root 375 plus root 135. 2 root 27 plus root 75 minus 5 root 12 all over root 60 minus root 375 plus root 135.
Well, another challenge for the Burmi Shinkafa's house comes directly from a topic called thought in mathematics. So there he is. I hope the group members are vigilant. Let's see what happens. Group members are here waiting to see their group member doing the right thing. If he isn't, then I believe they can always give their own contribution. It's something good that whenever someone is on stage, you appreciate that person being on stage. The courage for coming out is something. So group members, you are still within the time range. You can always help when you see that there is need for that. Here we are, and time is going. Group 3 members. Group 3 members. Baumi Shinkafa's house. This is the first round in the match ring. The group currently on stage is group 3, which is Bauer Mission Covers House. So we are waiting, and the time is taking.
You have less than 30 seconds.
Group 4, you should start warming up. You are next. So the next to take the challenge for group 4 should be ready.
Turn off.
The time is up, and some anxiety from group 3. I still believe they could do better. I can see some anxiety with the group members, so I still believe in them for the next coming round. So here we are with group 4, that's Jafar Mahmoud Adams' house. Here we are with Gondu trying to take the challenge for his own house. He's already taken the question.
Question number 7 says, find the value of a cylinder of height 7.94 centimeter and diameter 5.5 centimeter. Take phi to be 3.142. Find the volume of a cylinder of height 7.94 centimeter and diameter 5.5 centimeter. Take phi to be 3.142.
Here we are with a different topic. I think is measuration. The question is asking them to find the volume of a cylinder of height 7.94 and diameter 5.5 centimeters, taking the value of pi to be 3.142. And I can see 2 participants believe they can still solve the question. So 2 of them are on stage, each one trying in his own way to see that they solve the problem within the stipulated time. Both of them are moving. I can see they are trying to exhaust my markers, but all is well, even if they do that, as far as something could come out of it. So each one of them is trying to make their group members proud. And one, well, you can always go through your work, and members can always go through the work as well. I sometimes wish I know much like this courageous student of here. Well, I can see 2 different solutions, but let's wait for the judge. Let's wait for the judge. Well, sometimes you have an advantage of you being 2 coming out to take a challenge for your group. It's like if one fails, the other one will always survive. even though I would make a comment. Can I? He didn't try. Alright, we're moving to the second round. Abubakar Mahmoud Gumi's house. Abubakar Mahmoud Gumi's house. Here we are with another courageous student from that group. He's taking a question, and the question is about to be written. I think it's Abdurrahman, Ishaq.
The polygon
Let's see what happens.
has the interior angles K, K plus 5, K plus 10, K plus 15, and K plus 20. Find the value of K. A polygon has the interior angles K, K plus 5, K plus 10, K plus 15, and K plus 20. Find the value of K.
Well, another question from a topic in math called polygon. There is a question asking the student to determine the value of K if the interior angles of a polygon are K degrees, K plus 5 degrees, K plus 10, K plus 15, and K plus 20. I like it when I see more competitive environment for the students. They always believe they can do better. So, two students from one single group trying to solve the problem. What a confidence. Be careful with your confidence sometimes. Abubakar Mahmoud Gumi's house. The group on stage now with a question on polygon given the interior angles in terms of K, and the question is asking them to find the value of that K. So two of them are there really battling with the question. One of them is done, the other one is always trying to be done also. Well, I can see both of them arrive at the same answer, but I don't know what the judge will say. I don't know what the judge will say, but sometimes my instincts will always tell me, positive things. Well, the second good mark, the third one, I hope he will not stop him. He will not stop marking them good. I saw him marking everything good, but with one question mark. Maybe a student skip a step, but I don't know. He will explain that later. The second one seems to get more goods than the first one. And that is an excellent result, but since we always give double opportunity, so we take the one that score 2 marks and leave the one that score 1.5. So we always take the one that score best from the same group. So try not to be skipping steps. I will also not try to be someone like you. I don't like skipping steps, but that was an excellent job. We are moving to the next house, that's Albany's house, and the confident student is already out waiting for his question. So let's see what he has taken. There he is waiting for the question to be written.
The question he has chosen is question number 2 that says, without using tables, find the value of cos 60 in bracket raised to power 2 plus sin 60 in bracket raised to power 2. Without using tables, find the value of cos 60 in bracket raised to power 2 plus sin 60 in bracket raised to power 2.
Well, here we are with trigonometry of spatial angles. But the question says, without using tables, if you find root cos 60 squared plus sin 60 squared, and he's there with the solution. I think he's just moving. He's eager to finish. I don't know. He's just moving very fast and he's done, but I don't know whether he's correct. Yeah, he's done. I don't know whether he's correct. Yeah, I did, yeah. And the judge just told me that he's correct. So I think he's absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct. He's just too anxious to finish everything. He's just too anxious to finish everything. So you are very lucky. I believe the confidence seen in the student is something, right? So we are moving to the next house. There is so much confidence in the student, but you should always remember one thing. Skipping step is something that is that might cost you.
Question number 20 says, log of 0.25 base 8, solve log 0.25 base 8.
Here is a question he's already taken.
Log 0.25, solve log 0.25 base 8.
So he's taking a logarithm question, another different dimension in mathematics. It's a very by just looking, I will say it looks, by just the writing, it looks simple, but I don't know how it is. Until you finish, we will know whether it's, sometimes you can see something looking simple, but it's not. So the student is even kneeling down because of confidence to finish solving the solution. Well, he's moving. Another person is feeling that he needs to chip in something. So let's see. Another member of the group still wants to have his own solution. So let's see how different will it be from the first one. Well, he's trying to fix one or two things. The confidence is just too much. I don't know why. Well, they are all moving. Time is off. So we have one that has completed and the other one is incomplete. But let's see what happens with both the two solutions. If the completed one has scored, then another good, another one, another one, another one, another one, another one, another one. That is an excellent performance. So we move to the next group, which is Jafar Mahmoud Adams House. Jafar Mahmoud Adams House. Jafar Mahmoud Adams House. Jafar Mahmoud Adams House. He's already taken the question.
Question number 18 says, simplify 60 raised to power 3 d raised to power 4 times 2 raised to
Listen
power
to the next challenge. I can see you are finding it interesting.
minus 4 all over 4 raised to power minus 1 d raised to power minus 3. Simplify 60 raised to power 3 d raised to power 4 times 2 raised to power minus 6 d raised to power minus 4.
He doesn't even want to wait for them to finish writing. I don't know.
Minus 1 d raised
Then
to power
divide the body into 2, so you have. They just don't want the question to go for free, so they just want to beat it down. So let's see what happens. You see, one is going to another person's arena. You should have divided the board. You see them trying to compete with space on the board. I'll advise you to take it easy. You are all aiming for the same thing, so calm down and take it easy. Calm down and take it easy. You can always go over your solution to see if there is anything that needs fixing. Group 1, you should be warming up for the last round 3, I guess. Group 1, you should be warming up for the last round. Group 1, you should be warming up for the last round. Sometimes you need to compose yourself while solving the problem. I don't know, I'm saying something, but it's not clear until the judge say something. So we have to wait and see. It's already time, so you can stop. Let the judge decide. Even though I can see two the same answers, I don't know. Let's see what the judge will say. Well, it's like my instinct is, I don't know. Let me just wait and see. Another good, and another good. And let's calm down. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Both of them are correct. And let's calm down. Both of them are correct, even though they use different methods. but they still arrive at the same answer, and all the methods are correct. So we are moving to the next one. Abubakar Mahmoud Gumi's house, another challenge coming up. Yes. Okay, we have to stop at this juncture. I think we will come back after break to complete the remaining part. Do you so trying to solve a given problem?
So the question he has chosen is question number 13, that says simplify 27 raised to power m plus 2 times 4 raised to power m divided by 6 raised to power 2m. Simplify 27 raised to power 2m plus 2 times 4 raised to power m divided by 6 raised to power 2m.
Sometimes when I see simplify, I will just believe that it's something that is simple. Maybe simplify and simple are synonymous. Well, I don't know. I know if they are not, but I just feel it should be simple. But I don't know. Let's see what Ado Yusuf will do with that. He's there moving like a train. Well, group members, be always vigilant, because sometimes when train is moving it can easily make a mistake. Group members, be vigilant. We are still on the first group, that's Abubakar Mahmoud Gumi's house. A student is coming out to fix some problems he has seen with the first participants, but the judge says he should do his own himself, so that at the end of the day there will be a comparison for we to select the correct one. They are there moving. Group 2 should be warming up by now. Group 2 should be warming up, not standing up. The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. It's ticking. Well, you can see the first representative is still going back to make some amendments, and it's time. So the judge is up there. Making some few corrections. You know, sometimes when I see somebody moving very, very fast, it disturbs me a little bit, because somebody can easily make mistake by moving very, very fast. So the judge is analyzing the second solution. Well, part of the solution is good and the remaining part is they've a total of 1 mark is awarded to the group 1. So we are moving to group 2, that's Albany's house, and a representative which is a labor prefect as well is out to represent that group. He has already picked a question. He's already have the question. Group 3 should be warming up. Group 3 should be warming up.
Question 3 says that calculate the angle B in triangle below. Calculate the angle B in triangle below.
There he is warming up. I can see him warming up his marker as well, making preparation to start. You always have to remember, as you are going with speed, remember the accuracy as well. Well, you need to allow him start first, but I don't want to interfere. You can still do yours as well. But so many confidence. And what a coincidence, both the two of them are all tall, so they have to kneel down before they can solve the problem. They are moving, solving the problem. Well, they are even competing within the same group, competing to see which one will solve it best. And a member of their group is there smiling. I don't know whether he's smiling for 2 marks or 0. But I should hope it's for 2 marks. I should hope it's for 2 marks. I don't know well, but let's see from the judge. Well, you know, that's one good thing about having 2 people to solve the same problem. One got 1.5 and the other one, I think, will... Alright, let's go to group 3. So we are moving to Bawami Shinkafa's house, that's group 3. And a member from that group also has already picked a question. So let's hear from the...
Question 11 says that root of D is directly proportional to E and D is equal to 4 when E is equal to 8. Find D when E is equal to 6. Root of D is directly proportional to E and D is equal to 4 when E is equal to 8. Find D when E is equal to 6.
I can see the participant is eager to start solving. He's just eager to start solving. is Group 3 are already solving the problem, having two students attacking the problem, and they are arriving at almost the same answer. Both of them got the same answer, so let's wait for the judge and see what we would have. Let's wait for the judge. It's okay. The judge is up. The board is completely full, so we're waiting. We are waiting. It's just going. He kept moving. Yes. So many good. So well, he's too fast that he's forgotten some steps, even though he got the right answer, but he was too fast that he has forgotten some steps. That's for the first one. The second one is there also getting marks. That's why I always tell you, whenever you are going with the speed, remember the accuracy. Both of them, I believe, have got it, but missing some steps. One got 2 completely, the other one got 1.2. So we go for the 2 marks. Takbir. So we are going for the last question for Group 4. That is Jafar Mahmoud Adam's house. And there is the participant trying to make things right for his own group.
The question says, find the length of an arc of a cycle of radius 5.6 centimeter, which sustains an angle of 60 degrees at the center of the cycle. Take phi is equal to 22/7. Find the length of an arc of a cycle of radius 5.6 centimeter, which sustains an angle of 60 degrees at the center of a cycle. Take phi to be 22/7.
Alright, there is a question. By the judge, still writing it on the board, and the participant is anxiously waiting to start dealing with it. Group 4, this is the last participant from Group 4 in the last round of math quiz. So the question is there saying find the length of an arc of a circle of radius 5.6 centimeters, which sustains an angle of 60 degrees at the center of the cycle. And the question says he should take pi to be 22/7. So here is another helping hand also by the side. So both of them are going through with the question. Remember, as I've always told you, that even if somebody comes here and fails, is an encouraging stuff, because for you to come out is something, even if you fail, because one day you will definitely pass or you will definitely win. So I'm all proud of all of them that are here for finding the courage to participate in this quiz competition. The more you participate, the more you will be exposed. So we are waiting and they are solving. They are moving at the same speed, I guess, going down at the same time. So okay, both of them got some answers, even though I saw that one is missing something, but I don't know whether I think since we are done with mathematics, the next should be English language, so you should be warming up for that. Let's see the talent in the other side. At least we can see that most of you have proven that when dealing with numbers, you can prove yourself right. So let's see when dealing with words and composition and all the stuff in the other aspect. Well, there are two different solutions, so I guess one missed a unit, but at the end of the day they got the 2 marks for a question. So a takbir. So alhamdulillah, thank you very much for giving the cooperation for the math ring. So get ready to witness another wonderful one in the English language section. So I will hand over to the master of ceremony first.